We're going to California. Chad, you are up.
I appreciate that, Scott. And Alicia, yeah, wow. This is trying to keep up and take all the notes here. Good thing we're recording this. So really appreciate this. Stanford, this isn't my main question, but I am curious, the continuing studies programs that you're involved with, is that for current students or is that for folks that have already graduated and are looking to continue their education? And I ask because my sister works at Stanford Children's Hospital. And I think this would be something that would be pretty cool to share with her to see if she had any interest in being a part of your program.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, so it's open to everybody.
Oh, it is? Okay.
You don't have to have studied at Stanford or even work for Stanford. And the two classes that I have taught that are up until now are Prototype Your Future. So this is all about career design and the whole methodology that I created when I first left the corporate world. And then secondly, how to think like a futurist. So these notions that I was sharing with you about how do you do simultaneous processing? What are the thought frameworks and strategic frameworks that you utilize? So those are the two big classes that I teach there.
Is there a website that we can find more information with regard to this?
Send a note to me because I'm not, so they release their classes on a quarterly basis and I'm not teaching next quarter, but I will be in the fall time. And so I'll be happy to connect to you. Okay,
cool. And then my main question, or part B of that question, is you talk about Brazil, and I took notice of you being a voice on a Good Evening show out in Brazil. I'm curious of how that experience transitions or adds value to what you do in your day-to-day, or is this more of a hobby? Or is it something that helps you connect with the public and gives you a little bit different perspective on responsibilities beyond what you do in the corporate world?
You mean my work in Brazil?
Yeah, I took notice that you're like a voice of a Good Evening show out from Brazil.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of years of my career working in Brazil and ran a foundation down there. And then as a global corporate executive, spent a lot of time working there. So I do spend a lot of time in Brazil. But for me, so the future of work, there is no conversation about the future of work without a conversation about the future of education, without a conversation about the future of information. And so being a voice of, on the nightly news and creating other components or collateral of information that goes out into the world, I see it as all interconnected. And that's when I talk about that big shift, moving away from a world of moving away from a world of or to a world of and, these things that were formerly separate, either we're talking about work or we're talking about education or we're talking about information, the barriers between those things begin to dissolve.
That's neat. Awesome. Appreciate that.
Thank you.